let's pivot to Dak Prescott, because you mentioned yesterday that you wished we had addressed it during the show, and I agreed with you. We talked about it a little bit on PFTPM. Here's Dak Prescott from after the game with some comments about debris being thrown by fans. At first, we thought that the debris was being thrown onto players. They were throwing the debris at the officials after the game. Here's Dak Prescott speaking to reporters about that subject.
To know everything that we put into this day in and day out, try our hardest. Nobody comes in the game wanting or expecting to lose, and for people to react that way when you're supposed to be a supporter and be with us through thick and thin, that's tough.
I think they were aiming at the referees.
Yeah. They were at the referees.
Well, shit, credit to them then.
That's not take.
Yeah.
They weren't doing it.
Oh, well, credit to them.
Wait, and we have to tell, too, that it was asked again, and it still was doubled down on.
There was more.
It was doubled down on credit to them.
Yes, there's a little more on the back end where he could have backed off of it, made it clear he's just joking, and there's no place for that. Never throw debris from the stands onto the field, no matter what happens. The ticket that you purchased to a game doesn't give you a license to act like a hooligan. None of that was there. And it was disappointing. And I'm surprised, here we are, more than 24 hours after the fact, I'm surprised he hasn't come out and clarified or apologized or anything. And obviously, since he's not playing, he's not going to have a press conference this week. But that part is disappointing. And we say that as members of the Dak Prescott fan club.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was said, and I'm surprised he's been so silent since then. I'd like to think somebody close to him would say, Dak,
put something on social media, something there.
Got to put it back in the tube.
Right, make a statement. I mean, we're both fans, like you said. I really am. I mean, Dak Prescott, one of the reasons I've been behind him the last few years is because of the way he handles himself in those situations. He is always Mr. Organization. I'm the Sergeant General of the football team. He is phenomenal, talking in front of the microphone, talking to his football team. If you watch Hard Knocks, whatever it is. It's the first time ever I went, oh, man, Dak, what the hell? Are you kidding me? With that BS right there? First off, you can't talk about how your teammates are human beings and all that type of stuff, and then there's human beings running off the field, and you go credit to them for disrespecting those human beings. It's just not a good look. Definitely not. Unprofessional, low blow to the referees. And again, it speaks to the bigger problem we talked a little bit yesterday. Stop blaming the referees and the Dallas Cowboys. You didn't get the snap off. It was 0-0 when you snapped the ball, let alone when you spiked it. It was way done. It was over. The frustrations with the referees. Again, I asked people again yesterday too, like, did you see any of the penalties that you went, oh wow, that's a bad call? I mean, again, they were all egregious, let alone this mistake as far as how you handle it, not knowing what to do with the football, getting out of the way of the ref, all issues that are their fault, not the refs. And that's where it just was a bad look for the Dallas Cowboys the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hey, just get the hell out of the way. Get out of the way. You have to know that the umpire is coming through. Get out of the way. You practice it every week. You don't practice it nearly enough. Do we have the Drew Pearson sound from CBS Sports Radio, Pete? I don't know whether we're playing that or not. Do we have that? Well, Pete doesn't sound very enthusiastic about it.
Pete's like, yeah, we got it.
Now he sounds more enthusiastic. Here's Drew Pearson
from
last night on CBS Sports Radio with some criticism of Dak Prescott.
I'm just wavering now with Dak. I just saw regression as the season went on, and that's a disappointment at $40 million a year.
Oh, I thought there was more. That's it? Okay. I thought there was more. Maybe that's why he wasn't going to play it. He also went on to criticize Dak for the comments about the debris being thrown on the field. But that's a fairly strong comment from a Hall of Famer about Dak Prescott. Is he really worth $40 million a year? Based on the full body of his first year as a $40 million a year quarterback, it's not unfair. I just think a lot of what happened after the Patriots game was him still dealing with that calf injury, even though he said he was fine. I think that calf injury affected him, just like Kyler Murray's ankle affected him. We see how these injuries linger with guys. Russell Wilson's finger, they don't want to admit to any weakness, but it's still there.
No, I agree. I mean, it was never the same after the calf injury in that Patriots game. The magic from the offense, the magic from Dak Prescott was certainly gone after that. I do think the code got cracked a little bit. People started to realize, like, wait, are they really a good running team? Why are we respecting it so much? They started to figure all those out. But, again, when you sign a contract like that, this is what comes with the territory. Yeah, you're cashing a check for $2 million every time you play a football game. When you don't play up to standards, and, again, the offense – which, has got some talent and explosive elements in the pass game, people expect more. I know there's issues with it. Like I said, I don't necessarily love the offense either. But his play was not the caliber of play we saw before the injury in 2020 when his, foot was turned sideways, or what we saw before the calf injury. And I think that's what's disappointing. And it was disappointing, and, of course, they really didn't look good against any of the quality defenses down the stretch of the season. And I think that's what was scary, and that's just what's going to come to the come with the territory when you got that type of contract. That is. When you got that type of contract, people want to see you be Mahomes and Josh Allen and do stuff where you go, wait, they're not playing good, but it doesn't matter. He's still making plays and they're winning the game because he's the man. That's why they're paying him $40+ million. And we didn't necessarily see that from Dak Prescott at any point down the stretch of the year.
He's under contract for 3 more years, but the way it's structured, after 2 years, they really have an incentive to try to redo his contract. So the next 2 seasons are going to go a long way toward determining the future of Dak Prescott, the Cowboys. Where are they? Where are they going to be? And are they going to just bring everybody back, or at least the coaches who aren't hired elsewhere, bring the rest of the staff back for 2022 and keep it going? It sure sounds like that's the plan.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.